Welcome to Master Muse, Alexei Shishkin. It's so wonderful to have you today. We just went through, I don't know how many minutes because the counter wasn't going. It was super fun and I loved it, but we'll just get right back into whatever it is that we were talking about.
We were talking about algorithms and
right.
what
Yeah,
shows up in your TikTok algorithm
was?
when you scroll. Well, I think before that we were talking about how content. I don't remember. We said something about how live performance is important and content creation is part of the job of being a musician now. But it's like in reality, what is success, and is having one viral song the same as having like a hit song at this point? And
I think that's the beauty of me being able to see you on TikTok or on Instagram, where I can get either a snippet of your live performance, what you're doing for promoting the next song out, which are all these little mini music videos. That's one of my favorite things. The creativity that you can have with the videos that you can put on TikTok or Instagram. So I can get a vibe of your personality.
I hate that shit. I hate having to make video stuff for my music. I don't plan on ever doing it again. I have zero interest in it. I didn't like doing it when I did it, which was like a few, like 5, at this point, maybe 8 years ago. I was like, okay, fine, I'll try to make something. And it's like, no, dude, I don't want to do it. So I'm just not going to do it.
The opposite of that is you getting on and talking to us.
This is fun.
What you're doing. And that's an easier thing to do. Cause like, to me, there's several different ways that you can do it. Like what I wish my favorite artist would do was come on and be like, hey guys, hope you're having a good day. Bye. And that would be like, we would all lose our minds. Okay. So some people are going to make the cool music videos because that's their thing. Because when they do come on to a microphone, they're like,
yeah.
And you're like, oh God, you perform? That's great, or whatever. Maybe I'm not interested, but somebody like you who is well-spoken and capable of getting in front of a camera and being like, all right, guys, I found this beat and I want to do this with it. Let me see how this sounds. And you pull that up. I eat that shit up.
See,
I love the making of a song.
I think that type of stuff is interesting. There is obviously I do consume content that's related to music, and I consume content outside of music as well. And I even hate that I'm calling it content. Like that shit fucking bugs me. But I personally don't want to focus with my music specifically. I feel zero need to make shoulder content where I'm like, let's gain viewers and let's make TikToks using the sound over and over again. Don't care. Don't want to do it. I don't plan on touring. I don't want to make this a career. I just do it to make little art projects. I sit down, I make the songs, and then the songs just sit there. And that's cool. I don't need to go crazy. I do like these things.
Albums.
Yeah. Well, it's just, again, it's there. Yes, there are that many, but I also put out most of what I make. It's like, when, I don't know, there's a ton of artists, I think, who have hard drives and hard drives and hard drives of beats they've made or instrumentals they've made or songs or whatever that they don't release. I don't really do that. If I make something and I like it enough to export it, it's going to end up somewhere. What's the point of me not putting it out somewhere, right? But yeah, generally we talked about this a little bit before we started, but I view it as music is just another art form. It's just painting. It's just like pottery. It's just like writing poems. You just kind of practice a craft and you do it. It doesn't always have to be tied to recognition or having somebody
or fame
or virality, whatever. Yeah, it can just be for you. And if it's for other people, that's great too.
That's the bonus, really.
Exactly.
And if we can't, and to me, the most unique, honest, whatever, however you want to word that, everybody's like, oh, I like to make authentic music. I really like to get vulnerable with it. I definitely like to speak from the heart. I try to be honest with my audience. It's like, okay, well, thanks for that. I didn't know that your honesty was telling everybody that men are dogs and they should roof at you or whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe your honesty is just that, I was just sitting and on the sidewalk and I looked up at the trees and I wrote a song. I don't know it's that, but you have a desire to make a thing. And if to me, the more honestly that you can make it from a place of like, I just need to like put this out, or I just, this feels good to me.
Yeah. For me, it's purely selfish. It's just like, I like making these things. They're like little puzzles to me. It's like I get to hear different sounds and come up with different ideas and like put things together in ways that I like wouldn't normally think of. I don't know. It's just, I'm making it as I'm making it, I'm listening to it. So I want to make something I like to listen to, I
Right.
guess. I don't know. It's like, it's just, it's fun to put them together, and that's really about it. And in terms of, you know, what you were saying about writing, where do you write from and stuff like
Right.
that, writing from different places. This last album that I just did was like the first time that I decided to actually use things as jumping off points. So like one song is about a video game. One song is about a soccer team. One song is about a bird. Like one song is about a poet I like. You know, like they literally were about other things, and it was the easiest thing I've ever had to write, because I'm like, oh, this is sick. Like I have like material to start with instead of
Right.
having to. Because
Come
I
on.
don't know if if you write or record music, but like I think a lot of artists, either they'll write poetry or whatever and then put it to music. What I know a lot of my friends do is they'll have an instrumental and they'll have like a mumble track to it, and they just keep doing a mumble track with mumble takes, and eventually those form your melodies. And once you have those melodies, you kind of fit syllables to them and you create the thing. The problem is, if you're making music all the time, you fall into these like similar patterns. You fall into similar melodies, similar word choices, all this kind of stuff. At least I do. And so it was really cool to be able to go, oh, I'm going to write about the video game Disco Elysium. There's my source material. Let's start there. And I'm going to be using, I would have never used the words disco or Elysium in any song I would have written in 100 lifetimes. But this was my source material. And so it might be a new way for me to start writing this source material.
I mean, I really think that's the coolest thing about writing music. I mean, I haven't written in a long time. Well, probably wrote some last year. Didn't have a piano for a while. I left my ex, and I had an acoustic piano, and those things weigh, 30 or 40 pounds, easy to move around. So I left it there, and then I ended up getting my digital piano that I have with me. I have with me.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
That's your instrument that you like to write on, is piano?
Yes. And I don't play the piano, and I don't play the piano. I don't play the guitar or anything else. But I started playing the piano when I was like 11. And so when I started writing music as a little baby teenager, I mean, I was in church, so it was all worship songs. And then when I got back into writing again later, when I was in my 20s, again, I was in church again, and I was writing worship songs. So then when I got to this new part where, I don't know if this is like a trend that's happening with this deconstructing your religion, which is broken down into a million pieces for me. I'm not writing worship songs anymore. And so trying to figure out, like, because I don't know, it just came so easy. It was the words, it was the thoughts, it was the prayers, it was everything that I was doing was just in my head. So it was easy to write these worship songs. And now I'm like, well, what would I don't know what I want to write about. Oh, some really great little hate songs for my ex. That's super fun.
But if you like sit down and start improvising words, you're going to fall back into those patterns of like church songs or whatever.
Right. Where it sounds like a worship song where, that's probably one of the reasons why Harry Styles' song Fine Line was so good for me. It sounds like a worship song to me. It's a lot of repetition in it. It's a lot of instrumentation where there's a lot of room for ad-libbing. And I was like, yeah, this just sounds like something that we would have sang on Sunday morning, and everybody would get lost in the emotion. I mean, in the spirit of the Lord.
Yeah. I mean, for all of the criticisms of like organized religion and church, I think at their core, they all end up being criticisms of misuse of power and like capitalism and stuff like that. But a ton of great musicians have come out of like church stuff and gospel stuff. I mean, it's that goes without saying. I don't need to like harp on it, but like, yeah, I've tried writing on piano, and I really made it like a goal. I was like, I'm gonna start trying to write songs on piano, and every song where I start with piano, it just never is like what I'm going for. I just
Okay,
can
so what do
never
you
get it.
start with? You start with
I
the
start with
B?
guitar. I start with
Oh, you
guitar.
start
Well,
with guitar.
yes, I start with drums technically when I'm recording in my house because
Okay.
there's like a bunch of great drummers online who make drum loops, and you can just go like buy their sample packs, and
Okay.
I usually just use there's a guy called what is his name? His drums that he makes, they're called Super Dead drums, and
Oh,
they're really really good. I think Jake Reed, Super Dead drums. His drums are insane. I basically bought like all of his packs, and he's got a bunch of drum loops, and they're all different styles, different tempos. So what I'll do is I'll sit down with the guitar usually, and
uh-huh.
I'll just kind of start playing. And if I get a riff I like or a chord progression I like, I'll kind of in my head figure out how fast I want this thing, and then I'll tap out the tempo, see what our BPMs are, and find a drum kind of groove that is right around that tempo that I'm going for. And then I basically loop over that groove and play what I'm playing, and that's where it starts. So yeah, starting on guitar is what I've been doing. Even though I can't get away from the freaking guitar, I'm always like, okay, for this next album, only start with piano or only start with bass,
Okay,
and it's
what's the
like
issue with the piano? How does
I
it mess you up?
I
Or
just haven't been playing as long as I've been playing guitar, and
okay.
so I always fall into the same exact ideas. Whereas like on guitar, I know enough about it where I can actively stay away from the ideas. Obviously, like I'm never like to give you an example. Everything I wrote for a really long time was in the key of A major because I loved the way A major 7 sounded. It was just like my favorite chord, and I still obviously love major 7 chords. Like who doesn't, right? But like,
Yeah.
um, now I'm actively like yesterday I wrote two songs. I had nothing to do. I was chilling. I was like, you know what? Let me just sit down and be in here all day and record. One of them ended up being in B flat, I think, and another one was in uh, F. I still struggle. F sharp. I think it was an F sharp. I don't know, but like they ended up being in like things I don't normally work in, you know, and it's it was cool. It was a fun challenge. Like I was saying earlier, it was like a little puzzle, and I got to put it
Right.
together. And at the end, I'd go, "Whoa, this doesn't sound like the things I've written." And then, you know, with this last album, I had to do a lot of these like virtual sessions, or not even virtual. I don't know, where you know a radio station would go, "Hey, can you do a session for us?" And they expect me to play with an acoustic guitar, just versions of my songs or whatever. But I don't know how to play my songs because I don't write them down. So like uh
That's me.
yeah, so I
I
would
was
just
like,
like,
okay, hold on. No, I got it. It's my song.
yeah,
Yeah.
dude, it literally took me. So what that is all to say, I had a
I've
bunch of
never
these.
met anybody that knows what I'm talking about when I go, well, how do you play your song? I was like, hold on. No, I used to know how to play it. Hold on.
Yeah,
And then, oh, no, it's not that. No, it
yeah.
definitely, okay.
It takes you like 10 minutes just to figure it out, and then you're
And
like,
you're like,
okay,
it's
I
your
think
fucking
this
song.
is how the chorus goes.
I don't
And
remember. And you could change it on accident
yeah,
into a new chorus with the same words and be like, I mean, that does work. I don't think that's
well,
how I did it originally.
so what would happen with I let these things all build up, so I had to record a ton of them over the course of like 2 days. And eventually, like I was running out of this. I shouldn't even say that I was running out of time, but the reality is I was running out of time, and I had like one more song to finish. And I was like, dude, rather than like learning another cover or trying to relearn one of my songs, I'm just gonna make one up. And it was like so much easier because I was like, okay, I know, like I'm just gonna do a 2-5-1. Like I'm just gonna lean on the basics. Two five
Yeah.
one in A major and
Yeah.
just let it rock. And that song I've started and finished in like an hour. And it was like super basic. It was just like 2-5-1 on the guitar, piano accompaniment, and like you know playing the root on the bass. That was it. And make up lyrics as you go. And
That's
then you
awesome.
dress it up and go, I made you guys an exclusive track. It's like I'm
I
never gonna play this one again because I just kind of had to throw one out there for you. So
That is fantastic.
yeah.
Yeah. The end of the last show that Harry did for he was on tour for like 2 years. He came out and played the piano, and he doesn't play the piano when he performs. He plays the guitar, and that's still it's a little iffy if you ask me. I'm not quite sure that they have his turned on. I don't know.
Yeah, that
I
makes
could be
sense.
wrong, but sometimes I'm like, I don't hear that noise, and your arm is going really fast. But anyway, so he came out at the very end, and we're all like, everybody's sad. There's a lot of crying going on. We don't know how long he's going to be gone. All this, hysteria that's happening in the crowd of 120,000 people in Reggio Emilia, Italy. And he comes out, and the spotlight comes on, and they roll out an acoustic piano, and he sits down at the piano, and we're all like, did you write us a song? Like we're so ready. And then he just starts, it literally was like, and it was very similar to that with the capital over the course of 13 minutes. Where we all saw, there's no words. It was just him, and then like occasionally, the flautist came in, and the trumpet guy, and the saxophone, and
he was sort of in his jam band era for a second.
It was the most incredible thing, and also like for anybody else, it'd be like, "What is wrong with you? This is not amazing." But it was because he's not really comfortable on the piano. It's not his instrument that he's really learned about. He uses these 3 fingers.
Yeah.
These fingers are dangling below the keyboard. And he, and so it's like a real trick. It's like, when you see somebody doing something technically wrong with an instrument and you're like, you've actually made that 10 times harder than it needed to be.
Well, that's kind of like me with piano. Like I've never taken a single music lesson in my life. I just the way I even started making music was because I really liked hip hop beats, and I had this program called FL Studio. At the time, it's called Fruity Loops, and I was making beats, right? And I eventually.
Okay, how old were you when you started this?
Oh man. Well, I think I really wanted to start making them when I was like probably I don't know 15 or some shit, and then I kind of really started in earnest trying to make beats probably when I was like 17. And I didn't really start playing I don't know, non beats, not making beats, turning the beats into something else until I was like 20 or something like that.
Okay.
But the reason that the way the transition happened was I was like, okay, let me pull samples from stuff I like, and they're going to sound different because I didn't really listen to soul growing up. I listened to like 80s music, right? So I would like sample 80s music because I thought it was really cool. Or I would sample like stuff that I liked that was more current or whatever. So, whether that would be like Vampire Weekend or Grizzly Bear at the time, stuff like that. And, just sample weird shit that isn't soul. Because at the time, soul chops were like the thing, right? So eventually I was like, you know what? My friend gave me a guitar for free. A friend gave me like this shitty Casio keyboard for free. They were like low quality instruments. And I had this random microphone because of filmmaking. So I just had a microphone. I figured out how to plug it into my computer, and I was like, let me just sample myself playing this Casio or playing this guitar, strumming it.
Right.
I would just put the microphone right on the Casio. I didn't even know how to plug it in. I would just rest it on it so I'd be near the speaker.
This is the level I'm at.
Be like this, I'd chop it, and then eventually I stopped even using samples. I was just sampling myself, and then I started trying to sample myself singing over it, and then I was finally like, wait a second, well, I'm just making music at this point. These aren't even beats.
Nice.
And then that's how that all kind of came about. But all that is to say, when it comes to piano and guitar, I don't have formal training in any of them. And so when I play piano, I'm usually like, I have a little keyboard thing here that, maybe the listener is not going to be able to see, but for the listener, there is a piano here. Instead of having like my left hand, whatever, play a bass note or whatever, my right hand play chords, I've always played chords in my left hand and done melodic accompaniment in my right. Okay. So it creates a weird muddy sound, and it doesn't really sound good all the time, which is kind of why I struggle starting on piano, because by the time I've got that initial piano track laid down, I'm already playing this big muddy chord in my left hand, and I'm all over the rest of the octaves on my right. So there's no room for anything to do anything. So it's but this is what I like about it, is that it's
Right.
always a puzzle. You know, you're always
Right.
learning, like, okay, maybe I should, instead of playing 3 notes right next to each other in my left hand, let's just play one bass note and see where we're going. Right. So you're
Right.
learning things as you make the music, which I think is the most important and the most fun part.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I want to do is, I play by ear. So I took piano lessons when I was a kid, but did not, because I play by ear and didn't know it. I didn't progress with reading. And so then my skill level could only go so far because I only played for 2 years. But that didn't matter to me because I could run all of my scales and I could play in any key. I've lost the ability right now to transpose up or down for whatever reason, but because I haven't been playing.
Even the fact that you had that skill is like mind blowing to me, because I can't read at all. I can't transpose at all. I'm just like, all right, let
But
me
that's just the ear thing.
just the ear.
I mean,
Yeah.
like somebody was like, okay, well, when you're doing here, and then you go, and then you could switch the key there or whatever.
Yeah.
You could go back.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, I can hear that that's what they're doing. So when I would listen to a song, I would go, okay, oh, but there goes the keychain. And then I would listen back and be like, okay. And then I'd sit down and fiddle with it. I mean, it's just a lot of fiddling.
Yes.
But I had enough knowledge. And I also I did choir in high school. So I had to do some sight reading for that as well. So it's like, I can, all cows eat grass my way through some stuff.
Right. You've got some foundational knowledge.
Yes.
For me, like that's why when I'm in a studio, I really, really rely on having talented musicians around me, because it's like I'm the like leader of, it's like they're following a blind man, they have to like kind of see for me, I'm just like,
Right.
Hey, this is cool. Then we're going to go to this. I don't know. It's like a shape without this thing on the 7th fret. And they're like, sir, that is like a D sharp, or like, I don't know, but
Right.
they know what, they're doing, and I kind of don't. And when I'm in my office studio, whatever, recording here in this monitor, I have, luckily my phone is my camera, so I can show you. I have just a giant ass circle of fifths because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And then I have a giant fretboard with all the notes. Like I'm trying to figure it out, but
I think it's so great. And like my hope is like, I want to go to somebody and be like, okay, what I really need is I don't want you bogging me down with the bullshit. I don't want to be bogged down. I don't want to do that. I want you to give me like some piano riffs. I want you to teach me how to, instead of, because I get stuck. I did this for the longest time.
And is that mostly like a bed for people to be talking over or something like that? Is that what
no, but I'm saying that style, whatever I was singing over.
That's like a church or worship style, I'm assuming, or something.
Right. You can sing any.
I will say, it did kind of sound like the Minecraft music, which is like a hit. The Minecraft music is like insanely good. So just throwing it out there.
We never know what I could. But there's people. There was this some kind of program online where it's like, if you order these CDs and I'll teach you how to play by ear like a master, blah, 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 whatever. And so I have them somewhere. There's that I could plug in. Well, I don't think I can plug them into my computer anymore, but I'm sure I could get an adapter that could adapt into the thing, whatever.
I feel like if you find like
riffs.
Yeah, but if you find like a teacher who is like any teacher worth their salt, like would love probably a student like that who's like, dude, like let's
I'm
just
very disobedient.
Yeah, but you're learning some stuff. I don't know. I've toyed around with the idea of a piano teacher, but I think I would unfortunately just have to start from scratch because the way that I've taught myself is so busted. Like,
right.
My brain, like my muscle memory and everything is just based around my weird style.
Well, then that's the thing. If you're playing the piano when you're doing this thing, yes, you would have to. I at least have that part. I'm amazed at people who learn guitar themselves. Like I think the story is I think it's James Taylor who taught himself how to play guitar, and he does everything backwards or something. He does some weird thing when he's playing that's not, you're not supposed to do it that way, but oh my God, who doesn't love
Guitar is easier in my opinion. I think piano is a little bit easier to comprehend and easier to talk about in terms, because like you can just point to the notes and they're right there.
Right.
And guitar is like everything's a little weird. But I think guitar is just pattern repetition, you know, like you're literally everything happens in those first 3 frets and then you just transpose it up and down. And there's really only like 4, not if we really want to get super fucking basic with it, there's only 2 shapes. And like you just learn those 2 shapes and then the fretboard just, you know, it's the high notes and the low notes and you can play that shape anywhere on the fretboard. I mean, that's a super basic idea, but
You're starting to make me think that I could learn how to play guitar.
you could, if you know how to play piano, literally by the end of the day, you could learn how to play guitar. I guarantee it. You can, it's really freaking easy. The only thing that is difficult is like building up some calluses on your hands if you're playing acoustic and like learning how to just make your fingers naturally fit into those shapes.
Right. Which is like playing the piano in the same way, where it's like when you're teaching a little kid and you're saying you have to hold it like this. Now get your wrist up. And it's like when you first start doing it, you're asking your hand to do a thing it does not want to do. It does not want to rest there. And I remember my wrist and my hands like aching, like, I don't like this. And if I play too long, it'll do the same thing. But that may be because I'm 100 years old. But
I think
I would love to learn the guitar.
You would have zero trouble picking it up. It is so simple. And then for me, like it's a lot of patterns on guitar, right? And so that's how I got into piano. I started thinking it's patterns, and my brain still sees it this way. Where
Right.
like, again, just to show on this device, when I think of an A major pentatonic scale, I don't really think of it starting at A and then like figuring out its way down the thing. I always start at C all the time. And if C is not in it, like in A major, I don't think C is in it. I think it's these 5. And so to me, I see it as I just start up here at C sharp and I go, oh, it's those 5. That's all it is. And then I just kind of travel all over the board. So
That doesn't make sense to me.
I'm like just learning that different keys can be identified by how many sharps and flats they have in them. And I'm like, oh my God, like that makes it so much easier to know what key is what. Because I just basically was trying to learn these patterns and go, okay, if it goes down, up, down, it's A major. If it goes all straight line, it's C. If it goes, you know what I mean? Like, so I was trying to learn it through guitar brain.
You're trying to memorize the
patterns.
Pattern recognition, basically.
Right. Because on guitar, it's so much patterns. You're just like, oh, okay, I know if my hand's shaped like this, I'm playing this shape. And if I play it on this fret, it's this thing. Or like the scale for this is this kind of pattern. And like, I know I can move around. Oh, it's like every 2 frets, then every 3 frets. Or, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's like, they're just
my roommate plays the guitar, and so she'll be like, oh, what key are you playing? I'm like, oh, I'm in C. And she was like, oh, okay. So it's, and if I do that, and she frets it down, whatever that means, and then whatever. And then she was like, that's actually A minor. I'm like, no, C is C.
Yeah.
And she was like, no, actually it's such an, it's not A minor, but whatever. She's like, well, I have to play it in E. And I'm like, I don't know what you were saying to me. And I get like not violently angry, but I get a little pissed off at her. And I'm like, and I don't know what you're saying. This is C, and this is C, and this is and this is C, and this is C, and this is C. But it's just C.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
Like, it's not.
It's like, for me, it's like if I'm gonna, hit the note, if it sounds right, we're gonna play it. If it sounds nice, we're gonna play it.
Here, she goes, hear it, and I'm like, that is right. I don't. But whatever, you just stop calling it what you just call. Anyway, so we argue about it. She was like, well, it's different. It transposes it when you put the fret. I go, well, take the fret off and just play a C. So she's like, yeah, I don't know.
Going back to TikTok algorithms, I get a lot of like weird music theory stuff in mine sometimes. It comes and goes. Like it'll just depend on what I've been.
Now after this,
I think so too. But like it's those are always so interesting to me because I'm like, damn, I don't actually know half the shit you're saying, but yes, tell me about counterpoint. I'd love to try to understand what you're talking about. It's just cool. I just love it. Like to me, anytime I'm near a musical instrument, it's just like what drives it is that I like learning. That's like the most fun part is learning about
I
how
want to
the
do an
music works.
entire series about learning as a middle-aged person, and I want to
Yeah.
show people what it's like to go and, go to a place, here you are, and be like, all right, let's get on the oboe. And today we're
Oh
going to start
yeah.
with the oboe. Like, and somebody was like, it's a really hard instrument to play. I was like, no, that's of course what my brain does. I picked the oboe. But because I remember interviewing this girl, Jenny Magana. She's a bassist for Mitski,
Yes.
amongst other people. And she was telling me, I played that, play piano and I played this. And I was like, wait a minute, how do you end up playing all these things? She was like, oh, well, basically, once you learn one, you could pretty much learn any other one. And I was like, okay, that's not been my experience. Also, I have not tried.
I'm with her. I agree. I don't think it's that hard. I think a lot of people not pretend, but a lot of people say it's really hard. But like, of course, it's really hard to like play it at a virtuoso level. But
Right,
like, if you just want to like, say you just want to add one little melody that's just E A B, like you could
right.
probably learn that. It's and you can get a decent clip of like 6 seconds of you playing an A note or whatever. Like,
This
it's
is
not
what I
like
want to
that
do.
hard, you know?
This is what I
So
want to do. And I want to go in there and be like, listen, guys, I've only been practicing since how long have we been here? 18 hours? Only 18 hours. And I got 3 notes. You can do that.
the tough part about the like oboes and saxes and reeds and stuff like that is like learning how to use the reed properly. That's the hardest part, you know?
One of my favorite videos is a video of Louis Tomlinson trying to play the trumpet. And he just keeps going. And then finally he goes, it's more like, and he does that. And then it makes this loud noise. And I'm like, I almost stood up and clapped. I was so excited. I was like, this is all people want to see is
Yeah.
people try a thing and be even slightly successful at it.
Trumpets are insane too. I had a friend once who was trying to learn one, and I was like, "Oh, I'll try a little bit too." And it's just like it is. I mean, he would like walk around with the mouthpiece doing exercises just with the mouthpiece to try to strengthen his lips because like he was trying to learn how to do it. And I don't think he ever really got as far as being able to play like one or two notes. Trumpet's freaking hard. I mean, anything other than a guitar and a piano is pretty freaking hard, but it's still fun, you know. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I want to try them all.
I want
I
to
would
try
like to
playing the
see if I could
harp.
do the drums. Did you
You know?
see in Limitless? There's a show on, I think at Netflix, Disney, I think, with Chris Hemsworth. And
Haven't seen it, but is it
okay, you need to watch it.
drum related?
Well, no, it's just he does all of these things trying to extend his life, better his brain, better his everything. And anyway, one of the things that he does is, about learning hard things, all the magical things that it does to your brain when you learn something new. And so he got challenged to learn how to play the drums for an Ed Sheeran song and go in stadium level and get out there and play the whole song and not fuck up Ed Sheeran.
Yeah, good luck.
And he did it.
That's
Like,
awesome, though.
and it was like, we were like crying. I'm like, this is so incredible. Like, I mean, he struggled. Like, he did not get it at all. I mean, you watch somebody who's like, everybody clap 1, 2, 3, 4. And everybody's like, like this thing.
Yeah,
And you're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
what are you doing? Do you not know how to clap? So many people don't know how to clap.
I think drums are my like. If I had to pick one instrument that I could like, if I was given, it's you could pick one to learn, and outside of like my current environment, I would pick drums. Like because I've just never lived in a place where I can have drums. So like, it's if I was able to just have access to a space where I could practice and not piss people off,
Right.
I would love to learn drums.
Yeah,
But,
it's the top of my list. It's over guitar.
Yeah,
Because I think it's so cool.
Yeah, and also, I mean, it's more related to piano because piano is a really beautiful mix of like having a rhythmic quality and a tonal quality or whatever. So, like melodic quality, I don't really know how to say it, but like,
yes, I do feel like you can listen to somebody play the piano, and I go, "You don't understand. You shouldn't be doing that."
Yeah, yeah, it's
I'm really,
I'm right now. I'm good with. I got these guitars back here. I got my piano back there, my little synthesizer thing. So that's enough for me right now. And then we'll see.
The
Eventually,
instrumentation on your songs are really incredible. I'm just always amazed at how how it's all put together. I want to be in the room. I keep saying that somebody's going to invite me to a studio. I want to be at all the studios. Quite frankly, I'd like to do a world tour of studios and
Well,
go
if you
in there with
know,
people.
you're in Atlanta, right?
Yes.
Yeah, if you know anyone who runs any studios in Atlanta, let me know. I'll record the next one in Atlanta or something. Because I used to record them all in Rhode Island, and now it's just a little too far because I moved a little further south. I'm in Virginia now, and
Okay.
it's like, oh, direct flight on Delta to Atlanta.
Yeah.
Could be a fun time. But yeah, a lot of the parts are, again, what I said earlier. Like, I like to surround myself when I'm in the studio with really talented musicians, and it's because of them that a lot of it works. There's definitely songs that I have where it's just me. I have a lot of songs like that, and they're maybe accidentally complex. It's just layering a lot of really basic things on top of each other. But working with the other musicians, Dave Kahn, Brad Krieger, they're like incredible. They're the reason that this last album sounds good.
Love it so much. Okay, let's backtrack just a little bit. We've gone on to tangents, and
I know I'm the worst guest because I'm just
you're
gonna
not. You're a
I'm just
wonderful
gonna
guest.
yap. I'm not gonna. I hate when it's like a one-way interview. Like, especially as a host of a different show, it's
Yeah.
so tough when the person just like, yes, blah blah blah. Next question. You're like, dude, give me something.
I want to be in the music industry. I'll be the cool girl with the tattoos in the corner who knows a little bit about music. Let's talk about some shit. Let's be real. Let's have a real conversation. I'm not interested in running through track by track. I know that's great for some people. There's a space for that. This isn't the space for that. Not because I'm not interested, but just because I'm a fangirl, and so I'm talking to you like a fangirl. They want to know what you think about the algorithm. They want to know what you think about, about fame, about why you do the music that you do. I mean, like, you could tell me all day long about, well, the inspiration of such and such song was this. And so I'm like,
Yeah,
first of all, the song doesn't mean that to me.
I'm totally with you. Like, I host a show called the J Card podcast. It's about it's about mixtapes really. And like I told a publicist friend of mine who was kind of helping me book it. He was like, hey, like, do you want I can offer up these musicians or this I was like, let me be honest with you, bro. I don't think I really want like more than like 2 or 3 musicians on per season, because like, to me, what's interesting about music and mixtapes specifically is that it applies to everybody. Everybody growing up like loved, either depending on what age you are, making a
Right.
mixtape or burning a CD, sending a custom playlist. Like,
Right.
people love organizing and sharing their music, like,
Right.
because it's a way to like make a statement or communicate a message, and you don't have to play music to have it resonate with you. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do with the J Card. I want to get like, obviously music industry people would be awesome. I would love to
Right.
have like a publicist on. I would love to have,
Yeah.
like I think I mentioned this before we started. There is this company that does cassette duplication. I want to get one of them on. I think that would be so cool to talk
Yeah.
to someone who's like involved with cassette duplication and distribution.
Yeah.
You're not a musician, but if it wasn't for you, a lot of people wouldn't even be able to put this stuff out. So, and then comedians or something who like value comedy. Like, my dream guest, I think, would be like Scott Ackerman or like David Cross, like these like these niche almost comedians who love music and like can get down with those references. Speaking of David Cross, Atlanta person actually.
Yeah.
But like, they can talk about like the weird shit that I love, like with David Cross, for example. I'd be like, dude, did you ever go to any Pylon shows in the 80s or whatever? You know what I mean? Like, that's interesting to me,
Yeah.
but it doesn't always have to be musicians, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, my original goal was to just, I don't care how you're related to the music industry. More so, and I think, as it's developing, I just hit my year mark. I just want people who are interested in sharing their story, and I'm hoping that I get enough different stories that people feel like there's a way for them to make music if they want to, or make art.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be music, but if it inspires you. I mean, I was inspired to not sit on my laurels, so to speak, and go, okay, I'm just going to coast through corporate America until I die, because I love music, not more than my children.
Close, real close.
So fucking close. Like the things that I couldn't live without, my family and friends and music.
Yeah.
It,
I,
it's so pivotal to me.
that's awesome. Like that's great that like you are doing this thing, right? Because like to me, and the way I view like me making music or me doing podcasts, whatever, is it's a convenient hobby for me. It's a hobby that lets me also practice my craft because it's adjacent to my day job. So like, you know, a lot of people who maybe say you work as like I don't know, like a marketing person or something, and the only jobs I can think of are like marketing because it's so directly close to what I do. I can't think of other jobs. But say
What do
you
other
work,
people do?
well, like when like
Who built
I
that
don't know if I
road?
don't know if you fall into this trap, but like when someone's like, yeah, I don't know, like I'm thinking of switching careers or whatever, I'm always like, you got to try film, and it's just like, why do I say that? Because it's the only thing I know. But my point is, if someone's like in marketing, right, and their hobby is pottery, those are just like different worlds, you know.
Right.
For me, like my job, I work in film, but I do a lot of podcasting stuff and a lot of audio stuff for fun, and luckily it's right there. It's like in
Right.
my wheelhouse. So me
That's
making
what
these
I need to
podcasts,
work on. I need to work on the day job having some correlation to, I mean,
yeah.
I ideally, I really would like this to be the day job.
I know. I think that's what you should angle towards because you know, day jobs suck. So even if they're
Yeah.
related to your hobby, they suck. But
Yeah,
I
I
always
really, I mean, I go, okay, how many podcasts are out there? I'm just taking it from a statistics perspective.
I think the most important part is that you like it. You
Yeah.
like doing it. You know what I mean? Because that's how I feel about music too. Like I think I called myself at some point a hobbyist musician, and then someone who was interviewing me at some point was like, "Why did you call yourself that?" I'm like, "Because that's what I am, dude. Like I don't make money from this shit, and I don't really care to make money from this shit." And like the only reason it even goes out on Spotify and stuff is because I have friends who know how to do that, and because it's available. If it,
Yeah.
I would still probably, if this was the 1980s or something, I'd still probably make music with my friends or sit around at home
Right.
making music. I just wouldn't really record it. Maybe I'd record a tape here or there every 5 years, but like I'm just putting stuff out because
It's
I'm
easy.
able to. It's
And
fucking
I mean,
sick.
and truthfully, if you've got enough knowledge, you can. I said to my roommate, she would like to do some solo stuff, and I was talking about like, well, how will you feel when you have a song on Spotify? And she was like, I don't know that I can see that happening. And I was like, oh, let me just be real clear with what I'm doing. As long as I don't stop, I don't think there's any possible way that I cannot work out with someone somewhere, sometime of you putting together a song and singing and putting it on Spotify. Like that's insane.
Yeah.
Of course you will have a song on Spotify.
Also, like
Whatever
she,
happens with it is irrelevant, but yes, you can do that.
exactly. That's the part. It's whatever happens with it. That
Yeah,
does. Who cares? Like
that
all
doesn't
you can
matter.
control is what you can
You could just be
control. You
like,
know.
hey, do you want to hear my song? Go check out, whatever. Go check out Heather Lovelady put a song out, whatever. It's like when Brittany Broski did it. I mean, I was like, freaking, first of all, she did Adore You by Harry Styles. And I was like, you did not. I can't stand anybody doing his covers.
She did. Are you saying she did a cover of a Harry Styles song and put it
Yeah.
on Spotify?
Yes.
I mean, that's cool though.
No,
Like,
check it out because you'll be floored. I was floored. It's not bad.
yeah.
It's not. And I dare say, kind of good.
I mean, that's
Even though I'm
cool.
pretty, I mean, it's hard for me to say that because it's not my baby, my little sugar plum fairy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I was floored and I was like, damn, girl, I mean, just fucking do the thing. Like, you don't know. This girl is like, she's not dumb. She's a bright woman who has taken this thing where she named herself Broski to be more relatable and ridiculous to this Gen Z group that sometimes I'm like, why is this funny? I have children that are 25 and 24. And I'm like,
I think Brittany Broski's pretty funny. I mean, I haven't heard her name in a minute, but she's talented. Like she's funny.
doing stuff. And she's got
It's
a plan. I don't think she's going anywhere.
it's just so crazy to me that like this is not, I'm not like gonna make like a grandiose statement or anything. This is there's just like me showing my age, I guess. But like it's just crazy to me that there's people who like their TikTok is their entire kind of like real, their showcase. There's people who just do TikTok. They don't do theater. They're not part of their like local improv community or whatever. They just do TikTok.
Mhm.
And I know that sounds so cringe, me saying that, because like it's the same thing as like maybe a person a generation above me being like, YouTube is TV or whatever. Like that's
Right.
kind of what I sound like. But it just blows my mind because it's like you can be siloed, totally siloed, doing stuff on your own, on your phone, and you're a part of this gigantic community, but you're not like in your local community. You're not like involved. And that's kind of like me, I guess. Like I don't know a single other musician where I live. I mean, I just moved here a year ago, but like
Right.
I barely know a single person where I live. I just kind of do stuff here, and then I talk to my friends on online. So
Listen,
weird.
it's the age that we live in where you can kind of choose how you're going to create your community, whether you're going to create your community online
Yeah.
through, there's a lot of people that I've met through TikTok. My roommate that lives in my house, I met through TikTok, and she lived in Indiana. And we started traveling together, and it's just crazy. And
Yeah.
it's a real genuine relationship that blows me away. Sometimes I'm like, I should have met you at the grocery store, but now where do we meet people?
I think that it's such a noble goal to like to help create these third spaces, but it's just such an uphill battle because life is really, really, really convenient for most people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
we're ordering our food. We're not even willing
That's
to drive to pick up our food.
or make it like, like we're not
Much less make it.
yeah, everyone like used, god damn, this sounds so fucked up, but like everyone used to make their food. Again, I'm like old man yells at cloud. I actually love like how convenient life is. I think it's really incredible, but I'm not blind to the fact that there is an entire class of people who are getting trampled because of my convenience.
Right.
So there's no,
Okay,
I don't
so
have the
I'm
answer
going to
to
mark
it.
you off the list. You're not coming to the TED Talk or the snacky snack at 11. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna form my own, and it's gonna require heavy $5,000 a month dues, but it'll be a networking opportunity for hedge fund bros. That's what it'll be.
Listen, I'd like to be a billionaire, but I'd like to do it from home. Can I do it from? Is there any way for us to do a Zoom call? I'm just trying to make $1 billion.
Billionaires have been working from home for like 30 years. They're just pissed that we're starting to work from home.
They're like, this doesn't work for me. What do you mean? You're going to have to come into this building I created.
I saw a TikTok the other day. I think it was Fortune magazine or whatever had it, and it was like asking CEOs what time they all start working, and they were all like 5:30, 6 a.m., 5 a.m., and then in the comments, someone was like, half these motherfuckers are lying. It's like, yeah,
they don't,
it's true.
They don't come. And when they do come, it's at 10 o'clock. And then they go, I've got a meeting. I'm leaving. And then by 11:30, they're gone.
It's like the same way I say, like, I start working around between 8 and 9. I set my alarm for 8 or even sometimes 7:53 or something like that. And
7:53.
I know. I always just pick a random number every day. But like, I
really?
Yeah, I just kind of, as I'm about to go to bed, I'm like, yeah, something like that'll work. Because what I do is I let the alarm wake me up and I check my email. And if I got stuff to do that's immediate, I'll do it on my phone real quick, or I'll figure out a way to send a quick email to buy me more time or something, right? And can I say that I start working?
Billionaire.
Can I say that I start working at 7:53 a.m.? I get out of bed between 10 and 11 on a good day, but that I started working at 7 something. So
yeah. Then I took a quick nap until 11.
I had
breakfast.
I moved that alarm to 8:53 and I went back to sleep and I checked my email again an hour later. Like it's it's however you want to frame it. Work is weird. It's not. Yeah. It's. I wish we didn't have to. I
work all the time. I feel like I'm constantly working.
Life is work.
Between the full-time job and the 4 kids and 2 podcasts and I Uber.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
I work
lot.
all the
It's a
fucking
lot.
time. Thank you
I
for telling me you get up at 11 after checking your email at 9.
yeah, sorry.
I feel
Well,
really good now.
I haven't like I I haven't had work since May as of this record. I mean, I guess the gigs started coming in a couple weeks ago, but like June, July, August, I had 0 work, and that's like what's really hard about freelancing is that you kind of have to you got to grind, and you're going to have lean months, and like it,
Are you very good with your money? I mean, are you good at
I
managing
am
and
really
budgeting?
great at accumulating debt. I'm America's model citizen in that way. No,
I want us to all be contributing
yeah,
to the billionaire's pocket.
yeah, it was, it was a rough summer for sure, but things are getting back on track, so it's good.
Okay.
It's weird. It's one of those things where like, you know, I moved from New York because New York got a little too expensive, and it was people were like, well, how are you going to work when you're not in New York? And I was like, I think I've got enough clients where I can like do remote stuff, but it hasn't really been like that. It's almost like, yeah, I could hit up my contacts, but why would they go with me rather than someone who's like right there? You know,
Right
so
there.
it's a little squirrely,
Could you
but
have just been a little farther out from New York and taken the train in? I was like, there's a guy who lives in
that
Pennsylvania and he goes into New York every day or
yeah,
something.
but that shit sucks because you're like not if
Living.
you're not there exactly. Like you're close enough to be there, and you get almost it's almost like you get all the inconvenience and none of the benefit, right? Like you're like, well, this sucks. Now I have to like take the train 2 hours into work instead of like, I don't know. It's weird. It was good. I was ready for a change of pace, and
Okay.
Richmond is awesome. It's like where we live is great. It's super walkable and super chill, and I love it.
I
So
would like to try the walkable. I'll wait until my kids are grown, but the second to have
Atlanta's
kids,
tough. Atlanta
there's
is
nothing walkable
hard to
here.
find a walkable. I think my favorite Georgia band is the B-52s or REO. It's such a toss up for me. I fucking love the B-52s though. I think a lot of people see them as like a novelty music act, and they're like,
Yeah,
okay, Love Shack, whatever. But the band
right.
is so freaking good. Like the rhythm section is so tight. It's like
Mm.
insane. And they come up with like some of the craziest. It's like just it's on some like new wave punk shit. Like it's so cool. Like they remind me of Devo. I mean, that's not a crazy thing to say, but they remind me of Devo a lot. Like, in that way. That's just I love that era of music. I think it's so cool. And it's so weird because I don't think it comes across as an inspiration in my music at all. Like I don't understand how to capture that kind of energy. I think
Right.
it has to be live room, like
Yeah.
everyone like just operating at like 110 miles an hour. Like it's like it's big. You can't really capture that kind of energy in a room like me playing every instrument one at a time. It just doesn't work, you know.
It is crazy sometimes when you listen to a song and you go and then you hear it live and then you go, this is this is the same song. Um,
Yeah.
it just, it blows my mind. I love it. I didn't get to go to very many concerts for a long time. So then when I was released, I started, I'm not bitter. I started going to concerts and, to fun little fruity pop and indie and, whatever. And it's the most incredible thing that I was like, oh, this is all this is like church, just with a different artist.
It's just another communal experience. Yeah.
It blew my mind. I was like, you guys, you were keeping this a secret that I could have had this with Harry Styles missing a shirt and I don't have to think about Jesus at all.
So,
I mean, I can.
so
Thank you, Lord Jesus.
let me ask you a question. If you had to, you could never see live music again, or you could never listen to recorded music again. Which would you pick?
I mean,
And it's weird. Like, let's just, cause I know that that's kind of crazy. Cause concerts cost money and shit. Let's just say like you can go to any concert that comes to town for free. Like you have a free pass to go to any concert you want, but
It's
you're
too
not
much in my daily life.
what music is.
Music.
Recorded music is.
Recorded music. It's
Yeah.
too
So
much in my daily life.
you would
I
pick the
do
recorded
love,
music.
and I think that maybe that would make me have a different experience with my artist. I don't know that I would be as devoted. Like my devotion to Harry Styles and Louis Tomlinson is because I've seen them live. I've also watched every piece of media content that I could on them that is available online, which includes video where I'm watching them interact. And it's like, I feel like I'm at the zoo and I'm watching my little beautiful zoo animals, which
you're like an
is terrible for them.
anthropologist. You're like an anthropologist.
Right. And I'm looking at look how they hold their hand. Look how they blink when they say that thing. I mean, it's the most insane thing that I have ever done in my life. And it makes me feel a little bit weird when I go back and I watch a video and I know the next words that are coming out of their mouth because I've watched the videos so many times. I'm like, this is an actual person talking in an actual interview that lives in this world. This is not a scene that he practiced and played in a movie. And you are capable of reiterating whatever he's about to say. I don't love that I'm like that, but also I've gone to their concerts and had this experience that it was like a religious experience for me, coming from someone who had a lot of religious experiences.
Right. So it means you know what you're talking about.
I mean, I'm like, if we're going to get into some worship here, I've had some practice at some worship. So, and I think, this is what my parents were trying to keep me from, was worshiping humans because they're just regular people. And then you find out that they overdosed on fentanyl and then you're like, fuck.
Yeah. I mean,
my
it's
hero
true.
died.
It's true. But there's something healthy in like humanizing that, because there's, I don't know, that's a whole different conversation. Like, I mean, humanizing like, a higher whatever. If we're going to talk about religion, for me, like the idea is that they're great guidelines on how you should ideally think of others. Those guidelines aren't always followed. And I think God is just people, right? It's like the collective humanity and consciousness, whatever. But yeah, I mean, that is interesting that the point you bring up about him being like one person, right? I think that's like, you can watch these interviews with that one person and them, where I think like maybe the closest I come musically to that is like Pavement. Maybe I like idolize Pavement, and I've watched like a ton of interviews with them, and also Billy Joel. I've watched a lot of interviews with Billy Joel, but like I haven't seen the latest Billy Joel documentary that just came out on, what is it? I don't know, Netflix or something. And I haven't seen the Pavement movie. Actually, it just screened last night in Richmond and I didn't go to it.
Do you enjoy that kind of media for your artist? I mean, if you don't.
Well, I watched the Pavement movie from like the early 2000s, the Lance Bangs one. So like it's weird. I don't want to ever like commit the time to watch a movie. So
it's a movie thing for you,
it's definitely a long form content thing for me. Yeah. Long form, even movies. Like if there was a podcast where they were interviewing Pavement, I would throw it on and I'd like do my work while listening to that podcast or whatever. But the commitment of sitting down to like a fucking movie is not interesting to me. And so to answer that question that I posed you,
yes, for you,
I didn't even have a second thought. For me, it's recorded all day. I don't go to shows. It's just like not, I don't know. I don't want to deal with it. It's just,
and I felt that way for a long time. I was like, I didn't want to go. I didn't want to park. I didn't want to stand in a line. I didn't want to stand in a large group. I didn't want to have to leave with a large group. I didn't want any of those things. But something happened because of COVID where I didn't realize how much I missed human interaction, that when we were able to go and do it. And like I said, I hadn't really done it before. I'd done it, I mean, a handful of concerts, 6, 7, maybe in my whole life up until that point. And I went to the very first show. Everybody was there from the artist that I was there for. You know, he comes on the screen, and I remember like looking at him like as a tiny person, like there he is as a tiny person, and there he is on the screen, and then I think he's smiling. That's his dimple on it, and I was like, and all of us were like, it was the craziest thing. And then I'm looking, and then we're all clapping and we're all singing together, and I was like, oh, this is that feeling that I get when I'm with a whole bunch of people. There's celebrate. And what it was to me, it was joy to me. And I was experiencing joy on a mass level, and it was like flooding me. And so for that period of my life, I mean, I saw him 27 or 29 times in that 2-year period. That was crazy.
But so is it, do you mostly just go to like, what's the percentage of shows you go to that are like, you know, Harry Styles versus like other shows?
Most of now that he's not touring right now.
Oh, I see.
So everything right now is just mostly very small artists that I follow on TikTok, like Jake and Shelby, and we're seeing, and Maddie Diaz, we're seeing in Nashville, and we saw the Army of the Navy, and another artist called Aggie Miller, Savannah Lee.
I didn't realize that you were like a deadhead almost for Harry. Yeah. Is there a name for Harry Styles?
Harrys. We're the Harrys.
The Harrys. Like, it's unfortunate.
So sad, right?
No, for me, what messed up concerts was it was having a lot of access for a long time, like where it, you know, so I worked a lot with this music festival called Tree Fort Music Fest there in Idaho, and it's a really big festival for like mid-tier smaller bands. It's like a 5-day thing in Idaho in March, and there's like 500 bands that play.
Holy shit!
It's like they take over downtown Boise, and it was just a few years ago that they started. They have a main stage in a park. It used to be they were way more entrenched in like the city, and it's bar to bar, like bars are venues. It was their version of like maybe Austin City Limits or something like that.
Wow.
Or South by or something like that. Incredible time. Highly recommend researching it. If you get a chance, you should go. With Tree Fort, I got in when it was like they were on their 3rd year or something like that. Now that I think they're approaching, I think like next year is maybe 14, I think. I'm not sure, or 13, I'm not sure. But I got in early, and I had a blog at the time, and I was just like, you know what? I want to go to this music festival. I wonder if I can go for free. And so I just was like, can I get a video pass or 2 video passes? Cause I wanted to go with my friend. Yeah. And they were like, sure. And I was like, oh shit, dude, they said yes. Like now we have to actually go there and make videos. And so we went, made some videos, and then they reached out afterwards and were like, hey, we really liked your videos. Do you want to make the official videos for us next year? And that started like a long relationship with them. Wow. Part of that relationship though was that I was given, as their official like video team leader, I was given access that was like beyond anything I'd ever experienced. And so I would just be able to, and so their entire team, they treat their workers and their people really, really well, like, and the artists too. I mean, that's what makes that festival so amazing. But I would just like have this pass that got me anywhere. I could walk in the back door of any venue and just watch the band I wanted for maybe 15 minutes from the side, and then check who's on next, go down the street, walk behind the main stage, get a free sandwich, go. Like, it was just like, it changed everything.
Wow.
And then after that, going back to like, the ticket's going to be $55, a beer's $15, and you have to like crane your neck around a pole to see the guitarist or whatever. It's like, I was like, no, I'm good. Like, don't want to do it. And I was just blessed enough to have like, through all of that experience, make friends who were like involved with bands and photographers and stuff, where while I was living in New York, it would be like, hey, Built to Spill, another Boise connection, but like, hey, Built to Spill are in town, and My friend is their photographer, and he'd be like, if you want to come through, we got you. And you just go chill in the green room, go watch a couple songs, go back, hang out in the green room. It's like that kind of experience fucked concerts up for me, because like now I can't really go and like enjoy myself unless like, because I'm always comparing it to this other thing, and it's like,
I can
it really
understand.
sucks. It
So I have
sucks
to
to
be
say
really
that.
careful. I have to wait a long time before I'm just backstage all the time and being like, "Hi guys,
It's
what's up?"
I feel like really shitty saying that. Like it sucks, but it's just, it's
Are you
like,
sure you're just not like posing as a regular guy and you're actually a billionaire and you just don't want to tell me?
no, no,
That's
no,
why
no,
you're
no,
getting up at
no.
11 o'clock in the morning.
It's a classic billionaire move.
Okay, we did not follow
Notes.
anything.
No,
I have
sorry.
notes here. The
I
Rude
know.
Defense Tape Club.
Yes, that's another thing that we're doing. My friend Graham and I have there. One second, let me grab one of the tapes. So they look like this.
Yeah.
Basically, we're trying to do this thing where we're making like compilation cassettes um, once every 3 months, the quarterly type thing.
Nice.
And yeah, it's, I don't know. We're just kind of doing it for
It's a
fun. Like
podcast.
there's a podcast element that goes with it. There's a
Okay.
newsletter that goes with it. And there's obviously the physical tapes. Tapeclub.substack.com.
Okay.
And it's just purely like passion project, art project thing. And, you know, it's a money sink is really what it is. So it's one that I really enjoy. So it's been fun to do that. And what we've been doing is, alongside this tape, we've been sending out a bonus cassette as well from my collection back here. Just kind of throw like a random tape in there based on, what we ask the subscribers to just give us some types of music they like, so we can like try to cater to their
Right.
tastes. And if
Right.
they don't, then I'll just send them like a weird polka thing recorded in like Wisconsin in 96 or something like that. So,
It.
it's weird stuff.
It's so cool. I just love really the podcast area. Somehow I have walked through it. I mean, I've just asked people on TikTok and
You just got to shoot your shot.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to do the same thing with the J card for season 2. I'm just like literally just, I just last night finished making the one sheet with all the info on it, and I'm basically just going to shoot my shot and we'll just see what happens. And it is what it is. I feel like for you, dream guest is Harry Styles, obviously.
Oh yeah, it's at the top. And
If
so
you
that,
got Harry Styles, would that be like the finale? You'd be like, show's
no,
over after this.
no, not at all. I mean, the idea. I mean, I think when it first started, it was such an intense thing. And not to say that I don't really like him and enjoy him, and it would be, and the people that have been following and watching me for the last 4 years, yeah, everybody would be creaming their pants. Excuse me. Whatever. It would be insane for them, right? And for me, it would be incredible. But it's not just that I want to interview Harry Styles, it's that I would like to be a different kind of female interviewer for
Yes.
musicians. I would like to be taken seriously, where I'm talking to musicians and having real conversations about their music, not necessarily going track by track and, not being Barbara Walters and being like, so did you have sex with so and so? Like I don't, and I don't want to flirt with them, and I don't want to.
I appreciate it because like it is it's this has been like the most like actually like a conversation interview that I've done for this entire album rollout thing. And I've finally, after like bundling a bunch of these, I was like, okay, this time I'm going to show up prepared. I opened up my list of my tracks with all the lyrics. I opened up everything. So I'm like ready. And because in the other ones, people have been like, so tell me about this song. I'm like, oh, let me like remember how that one goes. Hold up. Let me listen to it. Like, cause I don't remember these. I recorded them 2 years ago. And so I'm like, I had everything pulled up, and I just love that for this one. I didn't need them. I'm like, thank God, a real conversation. I mean, no offense to the other people, keep asking me shit, but
I mean,
I love that this is here.
I feel like it's an important thing, and you definitely want to hear as a fan, you want to hear that. I guess I have a harder time with the track by track because, again, I've already listened to, your stuff. I've already decided what it means to me. And I don't really want you to tell me what it means because you may kind of burst the bubble of the thing that how I connected to it. So that's part of the reason why I like the conversational. I also, the other thing that I feel like I recognized as a fan when I watch Harry Styles, we're watching every like minute thing. So I thought, okay, what do fans really want? We want to know you better, but I don't want to be invasive. So I don't want to be like, when you're with your partner, do you like to hold their hand or do you like your hair twirled? Like, what the fuck are we talking about? That's none of your business. What I like in that personal private, but when we get into what you think about social media or what you think about how important it is to be focused on fame or not be focused on fame when you're making music or what your motivations should be, that happens in regular conversation. If we can
Yeah.
just like talk about what you fucking do.
I 100%. I just want to say I really agree with that point you made where if you were to ask the artist about the art, it might destroy what the art means for you. I love that point because literally like the way I look at it is like you're setting a ship to sea. I sit here, I make my ship, I put it on the water, and when it goes out for people to listen to, it's at sea. That's not my ship anymore. It's at sea. Whatever happens to it, happens to it. Like, who am I to tell you how to interpret a song? You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's I really preferred not having to get into the weeds on stuff because like yeah, I could tell you about the music, but like
But what if you
my
told
opinion's
me that
not
the
any
song
better than
that,
yours. You
yeah,
know?
what if you told me that the song, let's just do Watermelon Sugar. Watermelon Sugar is about a day that Harry Styles went to the grocery store and he saw all this fruit and he was like, you know what? I fucking love fruit. I should write a whole fucking song about fruit. And everybody's like, he's talking about doing naughty things and how much he loves to be in touch and doing whatever. And we've made this whole thing. And it's like, no, it's fucking about fruit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And everybody's like, no, but I watched the music video. It's very obviously, no, you made it very clear that it's about this thing. And every time I listen to it, I feel a way and it's so fun.
Yeah.
And I feel like we have a connection. We have a connection,
And then
right?
the answer is like, no,
Fruit.
that's just like a treatment that a director that we wanted to work with brought, and that's what we decided to go with. I didn't even have any say in it. Like I wasn't
Right.
even on set. I was on set for like 2 hours or
Which is
something, you know?
absolutely ruined for you. I don't want shit to be ruined for me. Well, I do. And I also edit stuff out because I'm talking. People are not as interested in me telling the same thing. You heard it for the first time today. They've heard me talk about it before, or it's just something that I'm using so that we can have a more conversational conversation.
Right.
That people are not, they're like, I thought this shit was about this guy, Alexei. Shut up, Heather.
Actually, it's a great point. I do the same thing. I have to cut myself sometimes.
So
Because sometimes it's also me like vamping and trying to find the next question as I'm like talking, you know? Like,
right.
okay.
But I think I say to my friends, I was like, you know, one of my friends just like, I don't know, you come up with these questions. My dad was like, you'll be talking. And then all of a sudden I'm like, where is she going with this? And then you spit out this question. And I'm like, how did she do that? I'm like, Dad, everything that I am talking about is off the fucking cuff.
Yeah.
It is, if it goes well, it's fucking magic because I have literally the list of your albums and what years you did them. I wrote down that you do video production. There's Shishkin Productions, a documentary, and Rue Defense Tape Club. I had no other plans. We're just going to have a conversations. I can ping these in if I need to, but
that's the skill set. That's vamping. That's talking, you know, that's what it is.
That's just, yeah. And that's the whole thing of, I don't want to be like, number one. However, we're about to get into number one. We are going to now transition into the 7 rapid fire questions. That there are 7. They are not rapid. They are fire, and they're my favorite. And I do at the end of every fucking episode because it makes me happy. And those that love you will want to know the answers because they're sitting with breath that is bated on the edge of their seat.
Are they the same questions every episode?
Yes.
Okay, I should have prepared better, but so
no,
I'm totally blind. I'm totally blind.
Hoping.
Right,
and if I ever get to the point where people know them and they have some prepared answer, I will change them. It is not ideal for you to be able to be like, I've thought about this and here's the funny answer that I come up with because that's so fun. Because it's funnier when people misunderstand the question and answer a completely different question. That's actually my favorite.
All right, let's do it. I'm ready.
All right. Number one, what would be your ideal vacation? That could be a place to go or a thing to do or both.
Ooh, my ideal vacation. The first thing that came to mind is going to a beach area. And the reason I clarify that, the reason I want to clarify that is because I don't want to be on the beach necessarily. I don't like the sand.
Beach town.
Yeah, I don't like the sand. I don't like the heat. I don't like the sun. I want to be in the shade. I want to like be near the beach. So I want to be sitting on a boardwalk in the shade, sipping a beer, feeling the breeze from the beach, because being by the ocean is incredible. Hearing the beach and like being near it. But if I'm like touching that sand, no, thank you. I don't need that. So that is my answer. It's like a Larry David at the beach. I would like to
be in an AI version of the beach.
I just want to be on a boardwalk.
Virtual.
I guess, like, but not too crowded either. That's why it's got to be like a smaller town. I don't want to be like in Miami or some shit, So that's
beach adjacent.
Beach adjacent.
Okay. Great answer. Number two, favorite concert you've ever attended and somebody that you'd like to see live if you did do that.
Can the person I want to see live, like they have to be active or can it be all history?
Any.
All history. The person I would like to see live, the band would probably Rolling Stones. I think like seeing the Rolling Stones in their like I would say late 70s era, like right after they put out Some Girls. I think that would have been a really crazy thing to see. And then first part of the question again.
Favorite concert ever.
Favorite thing I've seen. Oh man. Favorite thing I've seen was at Treefort Music Fest. One of those first years I went. I really, really, really love Built to Spill. Doug Marsh is like the entire reason I started singing. I never sang until I heard him sing, because he had like a Bob Dylan effect on me where I was like, wait a second, like your voice is just, you don't care about being like perfect, which is really cool. So seeing Built to Spill at Treefort Music Fest at the El Cora Shrine has to be number one for me, because at the end, it was a set that was all covers. Back in the early days of Treefort, they would do 3 shows a night because they're from Boise. So, sorry, not 3 shows a night. They would do 3 nights of shows. So First night would be all new songs. Second night would be all old classics that people love. Third night would be all covers. And so the all covers set closed out the show or closed out the festival that year. And at the end, he invited people to just come up on stage. And by the end, everyone was on stage around them while they were playing. And, people from other bands who he knew would jump on like drums. It was a wild, really, really cool thing. So that's got to be the one for me.
Oh, that's a good one. Can't even imagine.
Yeah, see, now you see why concerts have been fucking ruined for me. Sorry.
Okay. Debbie Downer over here.
I know, I'm always bringing it down.
Overrated and underrated holiday.
One of each. Okay.
Yes,
overrated holiday. Overrated holiday is probably 4th of July, I think. Okay. I don't like fireworks, and that's basically what that's all about. And it's too loud. It's too crazy. I'm not a big fan of it. And I just too much. It's a little too patriotic. I don't need people wearing American flag swim trunks.
Right.
We don't need that. So July 4th, overrated. Underrated. I'm going to say, this is contentious, but I'm going to say New Year's. I think a lot of people hate New Year's. Yeah. I think the way it's celebrated in America is wrong. I think people in America want to make New Year's about strictly 12 o'clock and I need to go to a big party or something like that.
Okay.
In reality, the culture I grew up in, the way that we celebrate New Year's was like, it was a day-long thing. People come over, everyone like sets up, and in our culture, I'm Russian. In our culture, you give gifts on New Year's, and it's like a day-long kind of celebration. You got the table, everyone's chilling, having food, taking breaks, drinking, hanging out. Then New Year's happens, and you turn on music and you dance and you stay up late, and like it's not just a one moment thing. It's about celebrating like here we go again, another year.
Well,
We're entering it. We're trying to meet this year together, right? So, New Year's underrated.
I agree with that. I agree with that. I actually said that we just did this recently for the 1 year anniversary where me and my roommate did the questions at the end. And that was mine. It was New Year's
What
because
was
I feel like there's a lot of pressure for the whole like, what are you changing? What are you,
yes,
what are your goals? What are your resolutions, whatever? And I'm thinking like, no, it's just like a reflection time. So I will
yes.
take that. I'll take that for the day. I think that we've stopped drinking a lot in our house. Um,
We kind of have too. I feel like it's been
yeah.
this weird like whenever there's like I think we as a country went through this like really disguised depression that like
Yes.
the stock market like kept hitting record highs and the 1% were like, hey, it's all good, like everything's good. Oh, that recession, it's like not happening yet. This is crazy. And you're like, what are you talking about? Like it is really happening. Like nobody can afford anything. So I
My
think,
rent doubled.
well, which is like think like I guess there was I mean, trying to connect it, I guess, but the 1920s, right? That's when everyone had kind of stopped drinking and it became like a thing to like, maybe like make alcohol illegal, prohibition, all that.
Right.
Also, there was the depression at that time. So I think it's a good indicator of economic health, whether people are comfortable going out and drinking. Who knows? What was your, out of curiosity, what was your on the other one, the
Overrated.
overrated? Yeah.
It's Halloween.
Wow.
I know
Wow.
everybody hates it. I was like, it's going to be the most unpopular because so many people love Halloween. If we did away with Halloween altogether, it would not hurt me at all.
Halloween gets really good when you are living north of like Tennessee. What the weather is so important because I grew up in Florida and Halloween in
Me
Florida
too.
sucked. You don't want to be wearing a costume in like 85-degree weather. But when it's the leaves are all changed, it's 40 degrees outside, Halloween's fun as hell.
Number 4, what is a weird food combo that you enjoy?
A weird food combo that I enjoy is probably I'm so basic when it comes to food. Like my favorite meal is like chicken and rice. Like it's so
Bless
bland.
you.
But I would say like even when I have coffee, I just have like black coffee. Trying to think of interesting. Can you give me some like thought starters on these? What are some kind of common places people go with these?
Sometimes they have a hard time if they're not boring. I mean, I didn't have one my personal self, so I did something decadent, something that I really enjoy. I don't even remember what mine was. Maybe I did. It wasn't weird or whatever.
I,
But sometimes it's decadent. Like,
I
what's something that you've had that you
yeah.
had somewhere that was like amazing? You
Decadent,
want to try?
decadent. I have one for sure.
Yeah.
For
See,
me,
there you go.
decadent is a lox bagel with cream cheese. Because I think all of those things are like, smoked salmon is super fatty. I guess cream cheese is obviously cream cheese, and bagel is
Mm,
just like a shitload of carbs. But I
mm,
will eat a smoked salmon and cream cheese bagel any time of day.
mm.
I
That
love
sounds
that.
very good.
And also, like yesterday, I ate an entire pint of ice cream. So, like, I love ice cream too. That's super decadent.
Yes.
I won't eat them together though. I'm not falling for this.
Like I'm not having a bagel with smoked salmon, cream cheese, with a pint of. Okay, so what's your favorite Ben and Jerry's?
My favorite Ben and Jerry's. When I was younger, it used to be fish food, but that
Okay,
is
is it
like
Cherry Garcia now?
way too sweet now. Yeah, it might be cherry Garcia. You know what I really like? I like the cores. I like the core ones.
Yeah, I don't
Where
know. It's kind of soupy in the middle.
it is. I like the texture. I like that there's like a lot of crunch and a lot of texture in those. Funny thing about Ben and Jerry's, I don't remember if it was one of the Ben or Jerry's or if it was someone else, but one of them had someone who's like high up in that company when they started had they couldn't taste. They had no like sense of taste.
Okay.
So they were really adamant
Worthless
about
existence.
including a ton of mix-ins because they were like, the reason ice cream is good for me is texture. So I
Oh,
like throwing in all these, cookie doughs and like chocolate chips and all this
okay.
stuff. They're like, I don't want the ice cream to. They were like a person who determined kind of the direction of Ben and Jerry's. So pretty cool stuff.
Huh. Okay. That if I didn't have a sense of taste, I think I would be anorexic and not purposely unhealthful, but what is the point of eating if you can't
I think
taste?
life would be a lot easier. Less decisions to make.
See, I am not
No.
feeling that. I don't feel like I have too many decisions to make.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm a quick decision maker. Does it
I
take you a long time to decide things
For food, yeah,
for
yeah.
anything?
Um, I usually kind of just go with my gut, but
With food, you're
there
struggling?
well, there are times like when you're trying to like for me, if I'm trying to order something, I'm like scrolling. I'm trying to. It's like when people go on Netflix and they're like scrolling for something to watch. I'm
Mhm.
scrolling. I'm like, that sounds
Too
good.
many fucking
That does sound
options
good.
for you.
Next thing you know, like
It's
it's
the
like
billionaire mindset that you have. It's just too much.
I'll sit down at 8:43, and then it'll be 9 o'clock by the time I decide, and that restaurant's closed. I'm like, damn,
It's
we
ridiculous.
got to go again.
It's ridiculous. Okay. What is the kindest thing that anyone has ever said or done for you?
Well, I'll just do the first one that comes to mind. I mean, so many things. Like people are just generally like, I don't think you can get anywhere in any creative pursuit or any business pursuit without the kindness of others. As much as like finance bros would love you to believe that it's because they wake up at 3 a.m. and they fucking drink a protein shake. That's why they're getting. No, it's because people give you opportunities.
Right.
For me, I'm going to tie it back to work. I think like I got an opportunity to move to New York because there was a producer there who's a friend of mine now, Dennis, who took a chance on my work. He took a chance on me, sight unseen. I lived in Oregon at the time, and he basically like just offered me consistent work. And if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have ever been able to move to New York. So that was a huge pivotal moment for me. So shout out Dennis.
Thanks, Dennis. We appreciate you. Today's conversation was brought to you partly by Dennis.
It really was.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's personality pet peeve. What gives you the absolute ick that people do?
Personality pet peeve is probably, I would say over promising, like over promising and under delivering, because I would rather someone just like not, just be straight up with me or like under promise what you're going to do or whatever. And then, you know, I'll be pleasantly surprised if something is better, right? So that could come in many ways. One way I could just think of it is if someone's like, "Hey, man, I'll be there in 10 minutes," and then they're there in 20 minutes. You're like, "Bro, why did you say 10 when like it was going to be 20? Like, why didn't you just say 30? And then I could have done stuff and you could have gotten here at 20, right?" Like that's just one example, but it can be other things too, where it's like, yeah, don't worry. I'll make this poster for you. Oh, do you know how to make posters? Yeah, I can do it. Okay, cool. Like on your site, it didn't say that. No, I got it. And then they'd like give you something. You're like, what is this? Like, this kind of sucks. So, those are just like random examples I'm
Right.
thinking of, but it's over promising. That is the pet peeve.
Yeah. I feel that, man. My favorite is, oh yeah, no, definitely. And then you go back and you're like, hey, we still, and they're like crickets. Okay,
Yeah.
here's my crickets.
Which nice. Hell yeah.
Fucking love it. It's my favorite thing I've ever had. I didn't even use it this time. I didn't. You should have gotten when you came in. It feels so good.
Thank you.
Feels good. We do it every time we start B-side, and every time I think, oh yeah, you put me in a room. I didn't realize like how much I enjoy making people laugh until I was on a call one time with these people that I had met on the internet that became my friends. And all four of them were on a call, like on my birthday or something. And I said something funny and they all laughed at the same time. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah, it hits. It hits. But the thing is, you have to like know how to catch them. You know, you got to land it. You can't like, because if everyone laughs and then nothing happens, the moment's like kind of like, fuck, like if someone was supposed to jump in there, that's why I love improv, is because someone will always jump in,
Super great. Okay. Last one. What are your words to live by? It can be this year. I like to make this because I feel like this should change in my personal opinion, but some people have words to live by they've always had. So maybe what do you keep saying to yourself this year?
Yeah. Um, I guess like I think words live by would probably be like, well, I got one. What a phrase that I've been saying a lot this year is all you can do is do what you can. And it basically means like control what you can control
Right.
and do your best at that. And all you can do is do what you can.
It's a good one. I think it's so funny because every time I ask that question, people, I could see it in their eyes. They're like, fuck, I don't know. They never think they know. And I'm like, just think of the thing that you think about all the time. Because there's something that you ruminate for yourself to
Yeah.
just keep the fucking ball rolling.
Or it's like
Because
a
we
phrase.
all get like, I can't,
Yeah. It's just like a something that comes up. Like for me, that's like a phrase that just like started out as a joke
right.
between me and my girlfriend. Cause I was like, I just said it randomly one day. And then we both were like, that is the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Cause like, of course, like all we can do is do what we can, but it's actually kind of poignant. It's like, oh shit, I'm
No,
actually saying it unironically now. So
yes. Now we need the reminders. And that's why it's one of my favorites. I really want to thank you so much for being a part of the show today. It was a real blessing that we were able to get it going after a couple of false starts and then a false start today. We figured it out. It was probably my fault. I do want to say that as you move forward with everything that you do, I'm so impressed by your ability to just do what you do for fun because you love it, because it feels good. And I hope that you keep finding more people to collaborate with to do the thing that feels good because we fucking need people being either even just being the example of you don't have to have the goal of being at the top of the heap. Being in the heap is good.
oh yeah, I
Being
want
within
to.
it is good.
Everyone's looking for a needle in a haystack, is what I heard. So put me in that haystack. I don't know what I'm talking about, but yes, thank you, Heather. Same to you too. Like it's just awesome to be doing stuff and it's fun to do. And I hope that we both get to keep on doing
Yes.
all this stuff.
Keep it on. All right. Thank you so much. And I hope you have a great day and I'll talk to you later.